From the High Definition Production Center of Troy University's Broadcast and Digital Network and Troy campuses around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Weekly.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Weekly. We're glad you joined us for this look at what's happening in and around Troy University. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Well, Trojan fans learned this week that Troy's athletic director will be leaving to take a similar job at Utah State. John Hartwell, who has served as Troy University's Director of Athletics for almost 3 years, will leave the university in mid-July to take the Vice President and Director of Athletics position at Utah State University. During his tenure, Hartwell oversaw the hiring of 9 new head coaches for Troy sports. 3 of those hires have been named Sunbelt Coaches of the Year. An internal committee headed by Dr. Doug Patterson, Special Assistant to the Chancellor, will handle the search for a new Director of Athletics. And we're about 2 months away from the start of fall sports at Troy University, but the athletic department is already starting to get Trojan fans excited about the upcoming seasons with their annual Trojan Tour. Chelsea Itel gives us a look at the first stop of the 2-week trip through Alabama.
The Troy Athletics Department kicked off their annual Trojan Tour Tuesday night. Lots of Trojan fans were there to get the latest from some of the coaches and to ask questions. The coaches that kicked off last night's tour were head baseball coach Mark Smart, head basketball coaches Shonda Rigby and Phil Cunningham, along with head football coach Neil Brown. The evening was filled with tons of excitement and lots of Trojan fans.
I thought today was great at Trojan Tour. We have new coaches, new faces. Neil Brown, that's generated a lot of excitement. Mark Smart. And it's just a lot of faithful Trojan fans here, a few new faces. It's been a great experience.
I'm excited about the future, and to cap it off tonight with a great Trojan Tour start and a lot of Troy people, and so it's a wonderful day for me.
I thought it was excellent. The crowd was outstanding, and I really like the format that we've changed to this year, the town hall type format. So I think it's going to be a good change of pace, and just looking forward to getting out in the state in the next few days.
This year's Trojan Tour is going to be ran a little differently than in previous years. The tour will begin with a short introduction and then lead into a question and answer period that is going to be more like a town hall meeting, which head men's basketball coach Phil Cunningham thinks can lead to some potentially interesting questions.
There might be some tough questions, there might be some unique questions, but I like it. I think it's a good way to do it because the fans are the ones that come to the games, and they're the ones that really support us, and they deserve to ask anything they want to ask.
Chelsea Itel, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The tour will make its way to Montgomery on Tuesday, June 9th at the Wind Lakes Country Club. For the full schedule, you can visit the athletics website at troytrojans.com, and we'll learn more about the tour later in the show during our Trojan Talk segment. Well, every summer, incoming freshmen learn about Troy University through the Impact Orientation sessions. Those sessions are guided by Troy University student leaders, and this week, those leaders were learning the information they have to pass on to the new students. Kenya Taylor explains.
It's almost that time of year again. Time for Impact Orientation for incoming freshmen, and Troy's Impact leaders are gearing up for the job.
Impact is the student orientation where the incoming freshmen and transfer students, they come in and they get to register for classes and get to hang out with each other, and it's like their first big impression of Troy, so we really try and get them to meet each other and hang out and just help them get those first nerves out of the way.
The leaders are taking advantage of all the new information they're learning through Impact.
My favorite part has to be that we're learning all this new stuff. Since I'm just biology education, I don't have a chance to learn about these other things. So it's really interesting to see what our students are taking here at Troy and what they'll learn and how I can help them whenever they're working on their schedules and getting accustomed to the campus.
Willingham says his favorite part is getting to know all the other leaders.
Definitely my favorite part so far is just getting to know all the different Impact leaders and hanging out with the staff. Everybody seems to be really cool and clicking really well.
Young leaders are not only looking forward to making an impact during the summer, but after the semester starts as well.
I tried out last year, and it's one of those things that you just want to do so bad, so you try out every single year until you get it. So I'm really excited to be able to do it this year. Being able to look back and see them on campus once school starts in the fall. I've been told that they come up to you and they're like, "You were such a great impact leader. I'm so glad that you encouraged me to do this, and I got involved in this, and da-da-da-da." And I really look up to you. So just being an example and a role model is really cool.
The counselors are hoping to make the same lasting impression on the incoming freshmen as their impact leaders did for them.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, mainly because I knew when I came through Impact, my Impact leaders made such a good impression on us to where I want to do the same for those guys and be like the voice and the person that they can come to and talk about anything with.
I don't even think I could pinpoint one thing. I'm just like really, because I remember my experience with Impact and how my Impact leader Emily helped me so much with getting accustomed to Troy and actually learning to love it. And so I'm just really excited to encourage the kids to love Troy as much as I do.
Kenya Taylor, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The first Impact orientation session will start on Monday, June 15th. And even though it's summer, there's still plenty of students walking around on campus taking advantage of summer classes. Jordan Elston gives us a look.
For many, summer means getting as far away from school as possible. However, some Troy University students feel that the summer is a great time to take a few extra classes. I had a chance to speak with a few.
Well, I'm here for the summer because I have 2 more classes that I needed to take that I couldn't fit into my fall schedule, so I went on ahead and take it during the summer so I can get it out the way so I can graduate in the fall.
I'm here taking summer classes because I believe that you need to get the degree as quick as possible to start making money and getting on with your life.
Troy University's summer classes started on Tuesday, and many students feel that is a great opportunity to knock out some extra credits without as many distractions.
Well, actually, nobody's here, so it's kind of like I have all the time in the world to kind of focus than I would during the spring and the in the fall semester. So it's a little bit easier from being distracted than you would be here in the fall and the spring.
Probably during the spring and fall because there's a lot more going on campus and a lot more people here, but during the summer there's no one here, so you're kind of really forced to be focused because you don't have anything to do, no other options.
There's a lot less distractions in the summer taking classes here at Troy because there's not as many people here and not as much stuff going on besides studying for your summer class. So,
Session A will wrap up on June 23rd, and Session B will be from June 24th until July 22nd. Jordan Elston, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Well, we'll take a short break, but when we return, we'll take a look at some of the high school visitors Troy had on campus this past week. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
The warrior spirit, it's in there. Always has been. Now let it out and take the world by fire. Train well and learn what it means to be a Troy Trojan. Walk with confidence, conquer, claim territory, and climb ladders. Know that you have the power to stand alone, but the comfort of knowing that you'll never have to. Discover your inner warrior. Find it at troy.edu/spirit.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
Troy University was home to over 300 high school students this past weekend as the students visited the campus to learn lessons in leadership. Samantha Cocan has the story.
The Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership Conference, or HOBE, took place on the campus of Troy University, where over 300 high school juniors attended to learn about valuable leadership skills.
HOBE is a youth leadership conference. HOBE stands for Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership, and it's for rising juniors in high school. These juniors have been selected by their counselors to come and participate in the conference, so each school has the opportunity to send representatives. And so they come and they experience HOBE and they learn about leadership at their age and how they can make a difference regardless of how old they are.
Students were nominated by their high schools and were chosen based on their leadership ability, the ability to work well with others, and a desire to learn.
They learn about leadership. They learn not just what it means, but how you can lead in many different ways. They hear from people in many different types of leadership and community leadership in different roles throughout the ages. So you hear from people who are their age. You also hear from people who are much older and how what you do at the ages of 15, 16, 17, up to 20 and in college really affects you long term. And so how making good decisions now and being a good leader starts such a great foundation for your future.
One student representing the state of Alabama will be selected to attend the Hobie World Leadership Congress in Washington, D.C. in late July.
The way that we select them is we really kind of evaluate them. How are they handling? How are they really critically thinking through what they're learning this weekend? How are they really taking the steps to apply this to their life? And what are their thoughts on what they're learning?
One student tells us that she is proud to have made it this far and hopes to build her leadership skills.
I'm hoping to learn some leadership skills and make some connections for planning our annual color run this year and homecoming.
Hobie was founded by actor Hugh O'Brien in 1958 and has been in the state of Alabama for 31 years. Samantha Cocan, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
This was the 11th year Hobie was held at Troy University. And this week, students were learning new ways to help them live life with a disability as part of the annual Youth Leadership Forum on campus. Jordan Elston gives us a look.
Troy University's campus was filled with young leaders Tuesday for the 2015 Youth Leadership Forum.
This week we're here in Troy for our Youth Leadership Forum. Youth Leadership Forum is a 5-day intensive leadership camp for juniors and seniors who have disabilities throughout the state of Alabama.
Many students participated in this year's forum and believe that attending events such as this will benefit them in the future.
Benefit because it's going to build up everybody's self-confidence to like a higher level than before they came here, because I know it's going to be increased greatly, because before they came here, you know, most of them like they weren't talking as much, but like as soon as like second day actually is a huge progress.
Because they get to learn how to interact with people in their environment and in their communities, and it helps them have good job skills.
In the long run, I've noticed that I'm more independent than most here, so it's good because they've been learning to be independent, like do their own laundry, stuff like that, get on their own health care, be ready to move out, work with their disabilities with other people, and learn new stuff.
And for anyone looking to be involved in the next Youth Leadership Forum?
There is an application process, so each year we send out applications through the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation. Our vocational rehab counselors send out the application to consumers in our program. The school system receives the applications, or they can also go to our website, www.rehab.alabama.gov/YLF, and they can download an application from there.
Jordan Elston, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The forum ended on Thursday with a graduation ceremony in the Trojan Center ballrooms. Well, last Saturday, the square in downtown Troy was filled with residents enjoying some food and fun as a part of a new event the city is starting this year. Kenya Taylor explains.
The city of Troy is doing something new to celebrate the 5th Saturdays throughout 2015. The city is using the days to turn the square into an area for food and fun for citizens.
This is the first 5th Saturday that we have actually ever had on the square. So for it to be the first one, I think that we've had an amazing turnout. I think there's something on the square for everyone today.
The 5th Saturday Festival allowed restaurants located on the square a chance to showcase their menus to potential new customers.
I feel extremely positive that this is a very good thing for all of our downtown businesses. It opens people's eyes to what exactly is downtown and the different food options that we have downtown and the different shopping options. The possibilities are almost endless here.
And it wasn't just food on display. Local musicians like Kathy Stockstill showed off their talents while people enjoyed their meals.
It was very fun. At first I was nervous, but I did fine. I do this often, very often. I play at a coffee shop in Brundage, so this wasn't my first time. It's very nice. It's a great event for everybody to come out and enjoy local music.
And one resident tells us the event is a good opportunity to enjoy food and fellowship.
Oh, I am loving it. It's a beautiful day, and it's fun to see a bunch of local people come out and enjoy the beautiful weather, good music. Fun to see the local businesses get to show what they're good at and support the community.
And Taylor feels that future Fifth Saturdays will only get better.
I think that it's an event that can only grow from here. I think that we had a wonderful turnout, but I think that even in the future, it's going to just continue to grow.
Kenya Taylor, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
The next Fifth Saturday event will be on August 29th. And Troy's Johnson Center for the Arts has 2 new exhibits up this month, and the center recently welcomed both artists whose work is on display to discuss their work with the public. Austin Cofield has the story.
Last Thursday, the Johnson Center for the Arts hosted a reception for not one, but 2 established artists. And despite the gloomy weather, many people came to show their support and meet the 2 members of the Spotlight.
Well, I think this is a remarkable exhibition, and I have been really amazed at the kind of exhibitions and shows that the Troy Cultural Arts Center has put together over the last few years, and this certainly is in keeping with that tradition.
Craig has been in our center before. This was Kelly's first time, and they were totally thrilled with the crowd. We had some sales, which always makes it fun. And it's just been a nice evening. It's been, the rain's pouring down outside and the art is inside, and we're all lit up and we've got wonderful food, and it just can't be any better than that, I don't think.
Those visiting the Johnson Center for the Art could explore between the 2nd floor with Kelly Olzik's paintings, or take the elevator down to the 1st floor to visit Craig Weatherspoon's sculptures. Both exhibits had several pieces of art one could observe with their respective artists not too far away. The 2 were surprised at the amount of people that showed up despite the weather conditions.
I always like talking to folks who are looking at the actual work, and I really enjoy, especially being at the receptions in our state of Alabama. It's been great. I'm really stunned that so many people came out on such a wet day.
I think it's wonderful, especially with the weather that we had tonight. I'm very happy.
Austin Cofield, Troy, Trojan Vision News.
Well, it's time for our last break when we return, but we'll learn more about the Trojan Tour 2015 when we come back from this break.
So they say it's a man's world? See anybody's name on it. While they were out doing their thing, we slowly changed all that. We changed all that. Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Now back to Troy Trojan Vision News Weekly.
For 2 weeks, Troy Athletics is traveling the state for their Trojan Tour 2015. Recently had the chance to get some details about this year's tour. Hello and welcome to Trojan Talk. I'm your host, Aaron Taylor. Today we'll be talking about the Trojan Tour. My guest today is Hannah Mason with the Troy University Athletic Department. Thanks for joining me here today.
Thanks for having me.
And Trojan Tour, it's an opportunity for Troy University Athletics to branch out from the Pike County area and move all across Alabama and parts of Florida. So tell us a little about what it's all about.
That's correct. This will be our 3rd year taking our coaches, administrators out on the road. We go through Alabama and then into the Panhandle. We talk about what's going on in Troy Athletics, upcoming seasons, how to buy season tickets, as well as, you can ask questions to our coaches.
And that's probably, I guess, one of the big benefits of this tour is having the opportunity to have the coaches come to your town and be able to interact and talk with these coaches.
Absolutely, yes. One-on-one, you can approach them during dinner or at at lunch too. It's very casual and open.
And now you talk about that, the dinner and lunch, and these are broken up. You're making how many stops?
We're making 10 stops starting on Tuesday, June 2nd, going until Friday, June 12th. And it's throughout Alabama and into the Panhandle. Some events will be at lunch, some events will be at dinner, and all that information can be found on the Troy Athletics website, troytrojans.com.
Okay, and then those events, you have an opportunity to come and enjoy a meal, interact, and hear from coaches and Athletic Director John Hartwell to talk about kind of, guess, the state of the athletic department, right?
That is correct, yes.
And so now with this opportunities, you've got the chance to hear a little about what's going on with Troy sports. But you mentioned there, getting people to buy tickets, getting people to get involved. And I guess ultimately, even though you're taking it to them, the ultimate goal, I would assume, is to try to get people to come back to Troy.
Exactly, yes. Visiting those alumni in those areas, reaching out through the Troy alumni groups, and just trying to get them back involved, spread the word of Troy athletics and what we have to offer this upcoming season.
And now we mentioned briefly the coaches there. Let's talk a little about the coaches that we're going to see at this event and how people can find out information about who all they get to see.
Yes, we'll have different coaches at each stop, and you can find that information on the website. Coach Brown will be at every stop, as well as our administrators and some other coaches rotating. Coach Rigby, Coach Cunningham, Coach Smart, Coach Mullins and Coach Terry will kind of be rotating throughout the different stops.
Okay, but the Neil Brown will be at every single stop. For everyone out there that's paying attention, there's a lot of excitement about the upcoming football season. So I know that's probably a big draw to this because a lot of people just kind of probably just want to pick his brain a little bit.
Yes, that is correct. And it's excited, just to kind of push the upcoming football season as well. We have some new ticket packages to offer that we'll be, informing fans about as well. And
so all that opportunity is there. And you mentioned that they can see the other rotating schedule of coaches on the website, troytrojans.com.
That's correct,
and
yeah.
So, and also there, information about participation in these events as well, correct? Tell us about, are there admission prices or anything like that we need to know about?
Yes, all lunches would be $10 and then $20 for family. That would be, 4 or more. And then for dinner, it's $20 a person, and it caps out at $50 for a family, 4 or more. So.
Okay, and then all that information is located on there. And do they need to make reservations to participate?
No, they can walk up.
Okay.
Registration, there is registration on the website that they can kind of give us their information, so we can just plan ahead, but it's not required.
Not required. So folks can show up in the locations for each individual locations in the cities. The specific locations are all located on the website, troytrojans.com, and the dates and locations are located on that site as well, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And if anyone has any questions relating to the event or anything, what can they do between now and when it comes to their city?
Definitely check all the information out on the website,
Okay.
And then they can email me, and my email is mason, MASONH, @troy.edu.
All right. Well, here's looking forward to another exciting Trojan Tour. A lot of stops, but you spread it out a little bit since last year. Y'all did it all in 1 week last year, right? And you spread it out a little bit more this time.
We're spreading it out over 2 weeks. So we start on Tuesday, June 2nd.
And so it gives you a little bit of breathing room to be able to hit everybody up and give a little bit more time to some of these cities as well.
Exactly.
So, well, here's hoping that this year's Trojan Tour is a big success.
Thank you.
And hope we drive a little bit more Trojan athletics fans to Troy over the next athletic year. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on today's edition of Trojan Talk. And that's what happened on the first week of June 2015. We hope you join us again next week for another edition of TrojanVision Weekly. Until then, have a good week.